the port that could end Djibouti's monopoly. For decades, Ethiopia, Africa's second most populated nation, with over 120 million people, has been held in a quiet kind of grip. Despite its vast size, rich history, and growing economy, Ethiopia's fate has been shaped by a single, inescapable fact. Its access to the sea is controlled by others. Every truck on its highways, every bag of grain in its markets, every barrel of oil fueling its cities, all depend on a single route. The lifeblood of Ethiopia's trade, from food to fuel, must travel hundreds of kilometers overland, funneled through a narrow corridor. That route leads straight to Djibouti. For Ethiopia, Djibouti is not just a neighbor. It's a lifeline, a gateway to the world's oceans, and the only practical exit for its exports and imports. Now, let's zoom out. Ethiopia is a powerhouse, ancient, vibrant, and ambitious. Its cities pulse with energy, its people are resourceful, and its economy is one of the fastest growing in Africa. Here's the catch. It's landlocked. Since the 1990s, when Eritrea gained independence and took the Red Sea coastline with it, Ethiopia has had no direct access to the sea. Its trade, its economy, and its future have all been shaped by this geographic reality. More than 90% of Ethiopia's trade flows through Djibouti's ports. Every year, millions of tons of goods, everything from food and fuel to machinery and textiles, pass through this single gateway. Geography in this case isn't just a backdrop, it's the script. The shape of the land, the lines on the map, and the legacy of history have all conspired to make Ethiopia dependent on its tiny neighbor. Djibouti saw the writing on the wall early. It poured money into its ports and built state-of-the-art terminals, transforming itself from a sleepy outpost into a global logistics hub. Railways and highways rolled straight to Addis Ababa, creating a seamless corridor for trade. Billions of dollars were invested to ensure that goods could move quickly and efficiently between the two countries. And with military bases from the US, China, and France, Djibouti became a pivot point for global strategy. Its location at the mouth of the Red Sea made it a magnet for international powers seeking influence in the region. Ethiopia's dependence became Djibouti's strength and its ticket to prosperity. The port fees, the transit trade, and the foreign investment fueled Djibouti's economic boom. But when one player holds all the cards, the other starts shuffling the deck. Ethiopia began to look for ways to rebalance the relationship, to find leverage, and to reduce its vulnerability. Ethiopia's reliance meant higher costs, chronic congestion, and a single point of failure for its entire economy. Any disruption, political, logistical, or natural, could bring trade to a standstill. So, the search for alternatives began. Enter Berbera, a port that had long been overlooked, but now offered a glimmer of hope. On Somaliland's northern coast, Berbera was once a sleepy colonial port, more history than headline. Its docks were quiet, its infrastructure aging, and its future uncertain. Then came fresh investment, deep-water terminals, shiny new cranes, and upgraded logistics. International partners, including DP World, poured money and expertise into transforming Berbera into a modern port. In just a few years, Berbera transformed from a forgotten outpost into a rising regional rival. Its capacity grew, its efficiency improved, and its reputation spread. But here's what truly changes the game: the Berbera Corridor. This new road, stretching over 250 kilometers, links the port directly to Ethiopia's heartland, bypassing Djibouti entirely. A new transport route now links this port straight to the heart of Ethiopia. For the first time in decades, Ethiopia has a real alternative, a second door to the sea. For Ethiopia, even shifting a fraction of its trade breaks Djibouti's monopoly. The mere existence of choice changes the balance of power. Suddenly, there's a choice. And choice changes everything. Competition means better prices, improved services, and greater resilience for Ethiopia's economy. With Berbera, Ethiopia gets leverage, costs can drop, deals get better, and negotiations shift. The days of take it or leave it are over. For Djibouti, even a small diversion of traffic could shake its economy. The port's revenues, its jobs, and its strategic importance all depend on Ethiopian trade. Ports aren't just about ships and containers anymore. They're about influence, about who controls the flow of goods, and who sets the terms of trade. But nothing's simple in the Horn of Africa. Somaliland, where Berbera sits, is stable and self-governing, but still unrecognized internationally. Somalia contests its status, and the world hesitates to pick sides. Every investment in Berbera is part economics, part geopolitics. Investors weigh the promise of profit against the risks of instability and diplomatic backlash. Berbera is just one chapter. Kenya's Lamu port is opening a southern corridor, offering Ethiopia another route to the sea. Eritrea and Sudan have their own ports, waiting in the wings, each with its own promise and peril. Ethiopia is building a web of options. No longer content with a single gateway, it's forging new partnerships and diversifying its trade routes. The age of single dependency is fading fast. The region is entering a new era, one defined by competition, connectivity, and choice. Of course, Djibouti isn't sitting idle. It's expanding, modernizing, forging new partnerships, and working to stay ahead of the competition. Monopolies don't collapse. They erode, bit by bit, as alternatives take root. The process is gradual, but the direction is clear. So, is Djibouti's dominance over? Not yet. But the foundations are shifting, and the old certainties are fading. But for the first time in decades, it's being questioned. The monopoly that once seemed unbreakable is now under real pressure. In the Horn of Africa, ports are no longer just infrastructure. They are the front lines of economic ambition, political rivalry, and national identity. Their power, strategy, and sovereignty. The stakes are high, and the competition is fierce. And on the sands of Somaliland, Berbera is quietly rewriting the rules. Its rise is reshaping the region, offering new hope and new challenges for Ethiopia and beyond. The only real question now isn't if Djibouti's monopoly will end, but when. In the Horn of Africa, the race for the future has just begun.